everyone. So in this module, we are going to be learning what your high level design is. So, whenever you are learning anything, like I have said previously as well, you should be actually having three questions in your mind. What is this? So here you should be knowing what is high level design? Why are we learning high level design? And how we are going to be doing it. So all of that we are going to be covering. Okay. So everything we are learning on this platform that has one ultimate goal. That is to get a software developer job. Correct? Now, where do you want the software developer job? Like, of course, you are going to be targeting some tier one company for that. Correct? Now, if if you talk about why these companies are even asking system design round, why they are asking some coding rounds. So the reason companies ask coding and system design rounds in the interviews is that these are the tasks which you will be encountering once you join the company. So let us say you're giving interview for some company, let us say X. Okay, now what this company is actually going to be doing, so this company is going to be making softwares, correct, and for whom they are going to be doing it, for the customers, correct, and what they are going to be, like what softwares they are going to be building it. So we these companies, they are actually trying to be solving some real life problems. In order to solve these real life problems, they are going to be building some softwares which are going to get consumed by the customers. So software is the solution that IT companies are building so that they can address the real life problems. And what examples we can take here? If you want to buy medicines, you can use the application like Practo. If you want to buy groceries, you have the applications like Zepto, Blinkit, Big Basket, and so on. So these are the solution for the real life problems which we guys are facing. And these companies are just trying to help you by building the solution for that. And those solutions are ultimately getting consumed by us either for our benefit, or we are directly going to be consuming them. So now let's talk about the software development life cycle. So that is something which you guys must have already learned about it in your colleges. Okay, software development life cycle. So while you must have already learned about this in college, but the reality, how a software is exactly built in the organization, that could be little different. So in this discussion, I will be focusing more on the practical way in which a software is developed in the real world companies. So from there, we are going to be taking a dive into what the concepts of these how we are actually going to be taking a dive into all of those components. We are going to be seeing what and all are actually essential while building any of the software, how we are going to be making them efficient and scalable. Okay, so what and all for a system design, we have some low level design and we are having some high level design. We have already covered the low level designing part. Here we are going to be putting more focus on the high level designing part. So in the low level, first let's discuss what and all steps are going to be there in order to solve any of the problem. So the first step is going to be the requirement gathering. These requirements you are going to be gathering from the different people. If you are having a startup, you can have it by collecting the requirements from the customers, either by doing some polls, quizzes, surveys, something you can do so that you can gather what solutions they are actually looking for. And if you're already working in some company, then you will be having some product managers who are going to be telling you that, okay, this and that are the requirements which they have gotten them from their clients, and you are going to be working on solving those. Okay. But after gathering the requirement, the next one is going to be scoping, where you are going to be defining your work. You're actually going to be coming up with a timeline that for this given time period, for this given task, this is the time frame which I'm going to be referring. In this quarter, I'm going to be delivering this part of the work. In the another quarter, I'm going to be delivering this part of the work, and so on. You're also going to be planning when you are going to start the implementation, when you are going to put some of the feature into the testing, when you are going to be putting that feature into the deployment. All of those things you are going to be discussing as a part of this step. After scoping, the next one is going to be the estimation. In this estimation, you are going to be determining the data size. Like you take the example of Snapchat or WhatsApp. If you will see, if you want, like, generally when you talk about anything on a smaller frame, you do not realize how much memory it is going to be consuming. Like if you talk about Snapchat or WhatsApp, let us say one message is taking 1 KB. You can see we have millions of users. All of those users are going to be roughly sending some 100 messages in a day. I have taken average. So how much memory it is going to be taking. So all of that we need to estimate before the implementation so that we can have that amount of storage available for us. In the estimation, we are going to be taking care of three things: your storage, your compute, because after having the data, you are also going to be performing some computation on the top, and later on you will be needing some of the network so that all the servers can interact with each other and the data can flow from one place to the another based upon the requirement. After this, the next one is actually going to be the components. Here you are going to be deciding the architecture. You're going to be deciding what and all components are going to be there, how you will proceed ahead, how you will break it down into smaller components. Once you have finalized your components, the next one is going to be the implementation. In the implementation, you will go ahead and start implementing each of these components one by one based upon the priority. After that, we will have testing. So this, once that component is ready, we will go ahead and test it. And if it is working fine, we will go ahead and put it into deployment. So if you talk about these four, all of these things are going to be taken care by your high level design. And if you look into these three, they are going to be taken care in the low level design. And when you will be implementing it at that particular time, you're also going to be requiring something like design principles and design patterns. So for the high level design, we are actually going to be discussing some of the components which you are going to be needing in all of these four steps. So let's discuss all of them, and I will be seeing you in the next module. Bye bye.